So for my audition, I wanted to tell you a true story. Now this happened to me when I was 8 years old, but I remember it like it was yesterday. So the year is 2001, and my family lost my uncle, unfortunately, and my grandmother that year. It had been a few months since these losses had happened, so we were healing, and my mom had her 40th birthday. Doesn't have much to do with the story, but she had her birthday, and we had one of these really big helium balloons at her birthday. This one in particular had the number 40 on the face of the balloon. And my little cousins and I absolutely destroyed it. We left it crumpled up in our basement. We were just kids, so we played with this balloon until it was practically deflated. So fast forward a few days, there's nothing weird about this until I'm getting ready one morning in my parents' ensuite bathroom, and they were in their bedroom with the dogs, like doing laundry and stuff. And out of nowhere, I noticed that they were talking and then they went absolutely dead silent. And then I heard my dogs growling. And there were my parents pretty much straight-faced looking ahead at the doorway. In the doorway was this big helium balloon with the number 40 on it. It had been deflated, as I mentioned, but somehow it had reinflated itself and it was entering the bedroom in like a bobbing motion as though it were a person. So at this point, I know something's weird, my dogs know something's weird, my parents know something's weird, and my mom kind of says, "Is it a ghost?" To which my dad starts to laugh and he scoffs and he's like, "Are you kidding me?" No. But just to make fun of my mom a little bit, he said my grandmother's name to the balloon. He said, "Hey balloon, hey Catherine, is that you?" And the balloon stopped and it looked at my dad. And once my dad was a little taken aback by it, it moved on past my dad and it went over to a photo of my grandma Catherine. And that's when it started to brush up against the photo frame, sort of like bounce off of the frame and acknowledge that it knew what we were asking it. At this point, I'm a puddle. I'm like, oh, grandma's in the balloon. Like, I didn't quite know how to comprehend this and take it in. So my dad decided to ask it another question. He said, "Okay, Catherine, if that's you, how's Uncle Ted?" As I noted, my uncle died that year as well, but he and my grandmother did not know each other in life. They never met. And this is where it gets really creepy. The balloon turned and it went out into our hallway, and we had a window air conditioning unit. If you've ever had one, you know they're very powerful, but the balloon moved with absolute ease against this draft into the spare bedroom where we had a photo of my Uncle Ted, and it started to brush up against the frame and basically acknowledge our question yet again. So this continued all day. It was very unsettling at first, but at this point in my life, I find it kind of comforting. I still can't explain what happened, whether or not it's paranormal. It's a really creepy story. I'm a little creeped out by balloons now, but other than that, this really intrigued me as a child, and it still does. And that's why I have a love for paranormal stories and ghost stories.